to show you guys something.
What is it?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait and see. It's a surprise, man.
Daddy, is this volume 2?
It is, baby.
Hello everyone! Welcome to another live stream here on twitch.tv/Xisuma, playing Hermitcraft. Floyne, Maurice, HCF, Lucaro, just some of the people putting bananas in chat. Bamboo Low, thank you for the bananas. Gonna do some resource gathering today, my friends. And then maybe grinding for some netherite in the nether. Anyway, I got a list of materials that we need to gather. How many... Oh, let's open that. How many oak log do I need? Dang, I need at least 4 stacks. Woo. Lex is here for 52 months. Welcome, my dude. Thank you for your subscription. Appreciate that. Inert Wig says, "How are you, X?" I can't lie. I've been annoyed. Yeah, someone said something to me that really rubbed me the wrong way, and I had quite an irritated morning. I've been looking forward to the stream. Well, stream will take my mind off of things, right? But you know, I got all these like tactics for emotions, right? Like emotions can get the better of you sometimes, and so got these sort of things that I say to myself, like, chill out, don't worry about it, focus on something different. Look at the bigger picture and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I've just been annoyed. So yeah, I just kind of been looking forward to getting the stream rolling and taking my mind off of it, I guess. That's pretty much it. Devin Crates, thank you for 12 months, a whole year. Baitan Daniel, thank you for 5 months. And Slytro, thank you for 25. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So yeah, I just feel still annoyed and like it'll pass. Things always do, but yeah, looking forward to this stream. Let's take my mind off of it and enjoy playing some Minecraft, which I've been doing a lot of lately. Chill Vibes says Cat48 is live. Yes, it's the music. The Malcolm Horn, Music Man, with the Infinity Volume 2. We got Leonard Datch here gifting subs to Ikadir, the Sniperneer, Silax, Alcoy, and All Gothic Gwyn. Thank you for gifting those subs and supporting our community. Of Saucer is here for 17. 78 Trickster123 has subscribed. Thank you so much. Can we get Xisuma out today? Xisuma, I think I remember what you're referring to there. Probably not. If you've listened to anything I've just said. Randy Tandy, thank you for the nice message there. Dang, I'm trying to deal with all of this like posture stuff all the time, and right now at the standing desk, like my wrist just feels uncomfortable again. I did make a bit of a improvement yesterday. I realised that the arm rests on my chair can be adjusted, so I spent some time adjusting those, which seems to have helped. But I wonder if it's just like you sort of put up with all these aches and pains, and then your body gets to a point where it's like, hey, I haven't been complaining, but now I'm going to start complaining. Because I don't recall like having this ache in my wrist so often, but it's just from how the hand like rests on the desk, and it's actually worse when I'm standing up. Devin Crates says, how's the new mouse going? I'm actually using the old one at the moment. I can switch to the other one. Let's switch over. Yeah, now I'm using it. Normally it makes a doo-doo-doo, like beepy sound. Now I'm using my vertical mouse, which it's not really that much better. It just changes like the posture. The problem with this one though is that it means your wrist like is more pushed into the desk when you're using it. Like this vertical ergonomic mouse thing, it's like, it seems good, but like in execution it's... Oh look, there's still some up there. It's maybe not that great, because when you use a normal mouse, you push down on it, and that's like down into the desk. But this way you push sideways, so a lot of clicking kind of moves the mouse at the same time. It's... Maybe I need to grip it stronger, but... You know, that's something you're trying to avoid doing, is like squeezing your muscles too much. If you have to like... The mic has gone weird, says RevsMC. Has it for anyone else? Not sure. Nope, other people are saying nope. Okay. We good then, good to continue. Continue we shall. Collecting saplings, collecting apples. Chopping the trees. That is a kind of tallish dark oak tree. What's the news, says Radon? Well, if you watched the video, all would have been explained. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. Badger Spanner, thank you for 33 months. Appreciate it. We got Dante Red Eye here for 19 as well. Thank you so much. Why not get apples by farming villagers for cheap, says Polar Splashed. Of all the, like, why nots? Like, oh, there's always that why not. Why not use creative mode? Why not hire someone else to play the game for you? You know? Just build... Why are you trying to have fun designing your own redstone? Just use someone else's. That's how you do Minecraft. What? Why are you watching this live stream, eh? Why don't you watch someone else's? Gah. Gah. You get those, but like I don't think I've seen such a like that's not what I'm doing. I'm not here to collect, believe me, I'm not interested in collecting apples right now. You know? You know, why aren't you jumping over there and drowning in that water? Because that's not what I'm trying to do right now. I'm not very interested in getting lots of apples. You know? Is the tree lag bug fixed, says Ohm Kaska. It is, and I believe it fixed of its own accord, which sounds really strange. So it just kind of went away, right? And when you have a problem like that and it just goes away, it tends to be one of those things where like you don't really notice it going away because it's back to normal. And then someone mentions it and you're like, yeah, when did that change? Because it fixed without us updating the server. Like, we didn't update to 1.17.1 and it went away. It just went away. It was really weird. Maybe it's like a early world thing or something. I don't know, but that bug went away. Thank you, Rendog, with the sleepage. Speaking of another thing, I had to do, first of the month, I do all the pruning and maintenance of the server, right? And I found that the overworld had created hundreds of region files that were off at like region file, you know, 100 up to 150, which is a really big distance in the game. Now, like, no one's actually gone to those spaces. The files are like really small. And there's like basically nothing in them. But like, why is the game creating those region files? I thought I would just ask if anyone out there runs a server and has noticed something similar. Or if you run a server, go check your region folder for the overworld and just see if anything similar's happened. Because, like, it was just really bizarre. It was like, why are there like gazillions of files out here when no one's gone in the world? And yeah, they're all really small files, so obviously they don't really have any data in it, but like, why is the game creating them? A region is 512 blocks, right? Yeah, that's correct. So a region file 100 is like 5,000. That actually sounds a little on the small side. The dynamic render distance maybe, says Mayschool. I thought of that as well. That was the first thing I thought of. And some of the files outdated when we added that mod. Quite a few of them did. So it was there. The problem was there before that. That dynamic render distance mod is cool, by the way. Like, I can do this. Okay, we're playing on 20 with 3 of us on. So, like, let's say 1 or 2 more people log on, it'll go down. I've also got another mod that's going to work in junction with this one in the future. That could be really, really interesting. But I haven't been really ready to try it out yet. So I'm going to try out this other thing. And again, just this season where we've embraced using mods a bit more, and we've had the help of Deadbeef to make some custom things for us. We're just finding little things that can make the game so much better, little tweaks and changes. And I've got another one that might really be really cool. Surprise T says locate and locate biome could do that. Could they? Could they do what? Oh wait, you mean running those commands can generate regions off in the distance? Right, except... Oh. No one can use those commands. If you were to, the thing I would do is just do it in a single player world on the same seed, you know, to figure out where something is. But like, if that's the reason why, like, this is a lot of files, okay? So usually locate tells you the one nearest to you. It's not like someone's been teleporting around looking for stuff. Like, it's really odd. Or maybe actually I'm thinking about it wrong. Maybe typing in locate, because of the way it works, can generate hundreds of them off in the distance, even though that's nowhere near the way you're standing. Thin Real West, thank you for 4 months. Captain Christo 72, thank you for 2. Jasper Schneider's here for 6. We've got Frosted Bagel with the Prime. Armored Monkey here for 37 months. 37 plus 10, 10 times 3 equals 30. 30 plus 37 equals 37. Yeah. Yeah, did you know that 36 plus 1 equals 7 as well? Oh, God, top level maths over here. I've got more than I needed of that, so that's that a little bit done. I'll replant some of these trees, I think. Oop, no, that's the wrong thing. So, the finesse of clicking and aiming with this mouse can be a little tricksy sometimes. But I use it to change posture for a while, that's the main thing. That's what I've learned, like, about all these ideas of, you know, standing desks and sitting and all this. It's more about changing posture and not staying static for too long. That's what's good for you. You've got to be nimble and move about. So having 2 mouses hooked up to the computer kind of helps me do that. Just swap over the thing every now and then. What was it I saw on Reddit the other day? Armored Monkey there with the numbers reminded me of something. So on Reddit, someone shared this like anti-vax picture where someone's taken like the name of the Moderna vaccine and then done some real sort of like round the loop maths or like flipping of numbers to then make the letters equal 666. And it's so bad. I'm like, I really hope someone doesn't actually think that this is like a legitimate thing. Don't go there, X, says Just S. I want to go there because when I see things like that, I'm like, alright, like this is a way of thinking you can be pulled into. I used to be way more susceptible to ideas like that. But you need a bit of rationale. You need to be exposed to better ideas. Like, if you want to, you can go put the numbers 666 in so much stuff. Like, it's very selective. There's a lot of, like, information. If you look at stuff like it's raw information, there's a lot of it out there. Okay? There's the name of the vaccine, there's the name of people involved, there's the name of the company that makes it. And, you know, you can just cherry pick bits of information together and extrapolate, turn numbers upside down if you want to. Like, what is the logic behind it? It's very easy to find patterns in the noise if you want to. People should be aware of that, because next time someone's trying to convince you, oh look, if you take the name of that company and you turn it into numbers and you just add this number and that number, oh look, it's the devil's number. All of a sudden, it's like, Yeah, like maybe try and do that with like your own name, or it's not a difficult thing to do. Yes, but guys, the number is actually 616, not 666, says Sapphire Lord. I don't think I've heard that before. I know sometimes there are like general misconceptions that get carried, but I don't think I've heard that for the devil's number. And to me, like, stuff like the devil's number is so arbitrary. It's just like, when I see that stuff, I'm like, it's like you have emotional attachment, or like ideas are attached to a number, and it can evoke certain reactions. So for people that take that stuff seriously, it can be like offensive sometimes. But it's all like ideas that have just been put in your head. Because otherwise, like if you just grew up a baby, you know, and no one ever told you the idea of like a demonic number, you were never exposed to that idea. You're not gonna write down the number 666 and go, oh my god! No, that's not gonna happen. Like you're not gonna be freaked out, or like something crazy is gonna happen. Lord Adino says 666 is scary. It's scary because you've been told it's scary. Like the ideas have been put there. It's not inherent. Like, mathematicians aren't going around crunching numbers and then they hit the number 666 and something spooky happens. Right? There's no evidence for that. X can be that loud sometimes, says Roseanne. Sorry if I got a bit heavy on the volume there. I've heard 666 is basically referring to the Roman Empire. Maybe it's got some, like, historical value related to that, I don't know. And now there's a lot of opinions in chat. What is 666? Is there something special about it I don't know, says Creator And. It's supposed to be the devil's number, right? Thegley, thank you for 6 months, and Becca11, thank you for gifting a sub to the CZ Ghost. Appreciate it. Why is 7 afraid of 9? Because 6, 8, 9. Is that the joke, isn't it? 777 is lucky, says Davin Knights VR. I don't believe in luck. Actually, I'll use the term luck, right? I don't believe there's like a force of luck. I think luck's just a way of describing that some stuff is sort of out of your own control. You know? But I don't believe in lucky. I don't believe in like Lucky Charms, or there's a cereal called Lucky Charms, so maybe I should believe in that, but I'm not trying to say cereal isn't real. I just don't believe. Like if someone has like a lucky ritual, I always do this thing before I do that, and then I win or whatever. It's like it's probably just psychological. Like you psych yourself up. Where did I put my ender chest? Like you like prime yourself psychologically. Let's see, how much oak did I need? Oh, that was oak was the one that I needed 4 stacks of. So we've got to grow a bit more, it would seem. You belong here. Oh, I came over here to sleep as well. Oh, no mind. Someone else is doing it now. Now that I'm all the way over here, go. X, you do set up your, says Halo. That sounds like an unfinished sentence. Someone says it's like an enchantment when diamonds drop. Well, that's that. Okay, so like, looking at that like it's luck, yeah, it's kind of easy to go, oh, that's luck. But like, actually, you understand the mechanics of that. The game tries to use like a random number generator to create a value for you. The idea being that it's seemingly at random, but it's sort of not. It's just a computer creating that number. You could argue that's luck, but we know what's going on behind the scenes, right? When you break diamonds and you get 3 of them at once, you could go, oh, I'm lucky, or it's like, well, that's just the game. Every time you break it, eventually you'll get 3. I look at things very unromantically, I guess. It's like karma. Like, I believe in karma conceptually, but not physically. Like, conceptually, to me, the idea of karma isn't that there is some force that's weighing up all the good that you're doing and bad that you're doing and making sure it comes back around again. It's more just like, hey, if you go through life being mean to everyone you meet, at some point, those people that you're mean to, you'll meet again. And they might remember that you're mean, right? What's going to happen? Oh, I need some help with something. Oh, yeah, I remember when I asked you for help. You know? Let's say you go through your life being kind and nice to everyone you meet, and no. Oh, that was weird. That was because the block that was in front of us just disappeared. Then, you know, it's likely when you meet someone again, they'll remember you fondly. You know, you might be in need of help or a favour, and it'll come back around again. Takoyaki says basically your actions have consequences. Yeah, that's sort of it, but sometimes you do get away with stuff if you do something wrong, and sometimes good deeds go unnoticed. It's not that every action has like an equal reaction in a social context. It's just that I believe in karma as like a concept for if you're nice to people more than you're not, it'll come back around just naturally, not through some cosmic force, you know. So I don't believe it in being like some sort of invisible energy or like some moral force that enacts itself on the world. I just think it's like common sense. I believe in karma, says it's Yusuf. Well, the karma I just described or the one that I was saying I don't believe in? I mean, you're welcome to believe in whatever you want, but I guess I'm just not there, you know. Right, while these trees actually might just grow back naturally a bit, which we can encourage, I will go get some dripstone. That's one of the other things we need. Karma, I don't know. I just like to be nice to others. Sadly, it doesn't always happen both ways, says Mojo Powers. Hey man, just like stick to doing what's right. Be nice to others, regardless of if it gets reciprocated. Do what's right, and you know, life's not fair. It may not always add up evenly, but if you go around being mean, you're more likely to swing things in the other direction. You know, being good to others is being good to yourself, in a ways. Apollo, welcome to the stream, my dude. They say if you don't pay for bad karma this birth, you'll have to pay for it in the next birth. Yeah, well, I don't believe in reincarnation, so the idea of karma, to me, is more of just a logical idea than it is a spiritual or one about rebirth. Oh, I've got a beacon to go pick up. It just kind of occurred to me. Oh yeah, there's no longer a beacon in this area. Where is it? Oh, it's somewhere where I need to go and bring it back. So don't let me forget. After we've got this dripstone, we'll go get a beacon. And we could go there the deliberately long way on a horse, if you like. See the server a little bit, you know. Karma for me is just wishful thinking, says Ren's Cold Sun. Even in the way I've described it? Like, I'm not describing something wishful, I'm describing just a simple act of, like, in life, you know, you meet lots of people, you interact with people. If you're always well-behaved and nice, surely that means at some point you're going to bump into someone again, and they might just remember. They might not. They might also think, oh, you're that arsehole, but, like, you weren't. They might have you confused with someone else. There's always a chance. But surely, if you go around doing the right thing, being nice, people will remember that. Ow! That's the other thing about harvesting this stuff. Sometimes it drops on you. Being nice doesn't get you anywhere, says Zelio. I strongly disagree with that. I strongly disagree, my friend. I think that's a negative saying. Look, if you're surrounded by people that don't appreciate when you try and be nice, then maybe you're around the wrong people, right? Like, yeah, if you're gonna hang out with a bunch of meanies who don't appreciate being nice and don't want to do that, then yeah, maybe it seems like all the nice things you do don't go unnoticed. But that's a good sign, you know. If you're out there trying to do good all the time and you feel like it doesn't go noticed, maybe you're around the wrong people. Is that a reason to change jobs, says Kuyuma? Yeah, I think it would be a reason. Totally. And actually, that's a really good example of being around the wrong sort of people. Job environments can attract a certain type of people, right? Like, I won't say too much, but I've worked in one environment that had a lot of bigoted, racist people in it, and it was just kind of like the culture of the demographic, I guess you could say. And like, these people wouldn't listen to reason. Not that I tried to reason much with them, but yeah, like, there can be demographics like that. So yeah, you could just be in like a toxic work environment, right? Like, the attitude of management or whatever has created a certain culture there, and people fall into it and act and behave in a certain way when they're at this workplace. And yeah, it could totally be a thing that, you know, a certain work environment isn't a great one to be in. Have I seen Cubstone's Dripstone? Cubstone! Ha, we should call him Cubstone now. Cubfan's Dripstone Canyon. Yeah, it looks really awesome. It looks like he's going to expand it sort of up towards this area, which is great because, you know, neighbours and seeing cool things pop into existence around you is always good. The Viking Dane, thank you for 8 months. The Big Whitey D, thank you for 7. Appreciate it. Bone Dead Fossil, thank you for 9 months. We got Foy Boy Free here for 17. Red Reverend here with cheers and bits saying, I don't believe in karma. I always tried to be good to people and it always backfired. While my dad was bad against others and he always got away with what he wanted, no repercussions. Thank you for those cheers and biddies. I appreciate it. Yeah, like, so, Red Reverend, imagine the amount of people in the world, right? Millions, billions, and all the different rolls of dice that can be thrown out there. So for people that always try to be good in all those different places out there in the world, for a lot of them, you know, that good, I hope, would be reciprocated. Every now and then there will be someone who is on the short end of the stick, tries to do good, doesn't come back round, they see other people doing bad stuff and getting away with it. That'll happen. The world's big enough for that to happen. But that shouldn't deter you from, like, the core of the concept, right? Is that... I think I missed, like, the first part of your sentence as well, that you don't believe in karma. Yeah, and so when I was talking about karma logically instead of spiritually, logically, that can happen, right? Like, as I was saying, if you go around being nice to people, you might bump into someone from the past who remembers you and helps you out or whatever. Like, it's like an idea, but it doesn't guarantee that people will remember. It doesn't guarantee that people will notice your nice actions. It can happen that you end up being in an environment where maybe that does go unnoticed, but that shouldn't, like, I'd hope that wouldn't deter you from the core of the concept. Because eventually, if you keep being nice and keep doing right and don't give in to defeatism, then maybe one day you will see it reciprocated and it will come back round. It's not guaranteed, but like, I believe in doing the right thing, even if it's against the odds sometimes, right? The other thing is, if you do it, you do it right by yourself. Sometimes in life you have to do things that are right by yourself, and no one's going to come along and pat you on the back. That's just how it is. Like, some things do just go unnoticed, and that's just how it is. But if you do right by yourself, for yourself, you don't always have to have other people confirm that you're doing the right thing, you know? Right, it might get a little bit hostile out here. Is anyone available to sleep? Oh, we've got a raid going on as well. Okay, I need to catch up with the noises in the ear then. The Ravies Obsidian, thank you for gifting a sub to Zeo5. Probably butchered that name. Thank you so much. Ed the Alien, thank you for subscribing. What was that TV show on Nickelodeon called? With that alien guy. Alan the Alien? I remember it not being very good. Dang, throwback right there. Did I pick up the Prismarine? I did. That's what I'm looking for. Becca, thank you for gifting a sub to Gobble and Hyperpixels. Appreciate those gifted subs. Exenthia is here for 2 months. Data Sparks for 2. Twivels79 is raiding us. Thank you so much, Twivels. There it is. There's the raid. Welcome all the raiders. Oh, Peeps are saying Invader Zim. No, that's not it. It was this kid called Alan Strange, his Wolfgang Pack. That might be it. He was basically an alien. Like, and you never saw him as an alien. He always just looked like a normal kid. But the idea was that he was an alien. Yeah, that was about it. Oh yeah, this is just like total spoiler territory, isn't it? I forgot. Oh well. Oh, can't watch your next episode because I've seen it. Oh god. X-Shaggy, thank you ever so much for 18 months of support, my dude. Appreciate that. Gamer Toss DK is here for 19 months. Appreciate it, always. There's a big long message there that I did my very best to read just because it went off the top of the screen. And someone was basically saying that they used to think the world was full of like selfish people, but now you've changed your mind. That's cool. I mean, there are selfish people in the world, right? And there's corruption, there's problems. There's a lot of magnetism towards negativity, especially in media, especially in news and information. Tend to always share negative things more. It's like a survival instinct, and we just take so much of the positivity that goes on for granted. You know, the lights turn on every day, the water's running. All right, people participate in society to make that happen. They go to work, they do their jobs for the benefit of others, right? A lot of that stuff gets forgotten about, sadly. And not to diminish some of the, you know, important things of the day that need to be addressed, and some of the negativity in our world that needs to be sorted out. But I like to always put it into perspective, you know, like historically, things were a lot worse. If you go back, you know, 50, 100, 150, 200 years, living conditions are going to be worse, you know. The miracles of modern society and medical science, you know, they keep progressing. People live longer on average. Technology, you know, it improves our lives, I would say. There's definitely some drawbacks that come with technology, you know. Social media has its problems, right? It's easy to find fire when you look for smoke, in terms of only finding negativity, says only unholy swords. Yeah, yeah, really great way of putting it, that is. I like that. Yeah, and you know, there's a bias towards negativity that we all have. But people manage to be happy, says the Tank Davy. That's a good point. That's a good point. Like, happiness is supposed to be relative. There's a lot of things I've heard about, studies and whatnot that have been done on happiness. So, like, they check out, like, what's the difference in terms of happiness in affluent societies and poor societies. And they find things like it's difference in wealth. So if you have a very wealthy country like the States, where you have a lot of people living in poverty and a lot of people who are super hyper rich, you know, billionaires. You have your billionaire class. That tends to lead to more unhappiness or people perceiving themselves as less happy. Then you go to some poor country where most people live in poverty, but the richest people aren't that far from the you know, the people at the bottom rungs, and happiness tends to be higher. I don't know how well these studies were done. I learned this stuff a long time ago. That's what another thing I've always learned is like, oh, this study found that, I don't know, rubbing an apple on your belly prevents cancer. It's like, what? That sounds odd. Some of the stuff sounds really, like, believable and good, but sometimes a study can be conducted poorly. Anyway, something I heard ages ago, and it's always sort of stuck with me and sounds kind of reasonable, right? Bill Gates owns the most farmland. We'll come back to that in a second if you like, because I can say something on that. So yeah, like, happiness seems to be relative. So the idea of, like, you could be really happy today and 1,000, 2,000 years ago, despite all these things like medical science and whatnot coming along, it's a really good point. It's a really good point. Things are relative. Like, imagine being like a caveman who, you know, sort of lives through many rough things. I don't know, like all these germs and viruses that you can pick up, diseases. You know, you break a leg and you're crippled for life, as opposed to having to be able to go to a hospital and have them sort you out, right? Like, but despite all that, because that's the normal, you could, and happiness could be relative, you could still just be completely as happy as if you were living today. And would that be a good thing? I don't know. These are very interesting questions that spark my curiosity. I don't have the answers for you. I just think this stuff's interesting. But going back to the Bill Gates thing, so Bill Gates is like a notorious figure for being at the center of like conspiracy theories, which always kind of like rub me the wrong way, because I feel like there's legitimate things you can go after someone like that for, or can complain about, right? You know, an unelected person of great wealth and influence going around the world and seemingly for the most part trying to do good, but can be very disagreeable about some of the decisions that unelected person gets to make on behalf of everyone else with their influence, right? Like, that's like a legitimate argument. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that he does and the idea of his wealth and influence gets extrapolated into ridiculous conspiracy stuff. You know what I've heard about. Sorry, what I'm talking about. You probably heard about, oh, Bill Gates wants to put a microchip in you because, you know, he's part of an evil conglomerate to track your every move. Sheeple, wake up. Bill Gates isn't trying to put a microchip in your arm. Do you want to know why? You're already holding your tracking device. You're probably watching it right now, aren't you? Oh, are you watching this stream on your tracking device? Is it in your pocket? You know, that thing that goes everywhere with you and pings the cell phone tower, and they keep logs of all of your pings to the cell phone tower, which I believe happen 3 times a second. And they're able to very easily extrapolate your position. It's got all those metrics. Are you wearing a Fitbit or an Apple Watch? Are you giving them all that data, you know, of your heartbeat? I mean, come on now, right? The whole chipping thing is ridiculous because we already got our tracking devices in our pockets. All right, let's face it. All right, we gave away all that data. We gave them all the data, right? Are you using the internet? Oh, everything you're doing is not being tracked and stored somewhere, is it really? This internet connection isn't being logged. Sure, mate. We're already being tracked, okay? Data is the name of the game. All our internet activity and cell phone activity and use of mobile phones, VPN. Yeah, VPN helps you get so far in protecting yourself. There's still quite a few more measures you want to take. For example, if you're using a VPN, which I do actually encourage, I use one myself. There's other steps you've got to take as well, because as soon as you go to a website and log in, it's like all of that protection the VPN offers in a way kind of just, they know who you are now again, right? It protects you from your ISP. Your ISP doesn't know what you're doing, but if you think Google now doesn't know who you are because you're using a VPN, nah. You know, there's stuff like cookies and trackers on websites. There's like lots of layers of data collection you need to learn about to sort of anonymize yourself more, but it's very difficult to do. So yeah. Anyway, going back to Bill Gates. Good old Bill Gates, hey? And his evil plan to take over the world, apparently. I heard, someone told me. On the internet, must be true. Must be true, if it's on the internet. Yeah, so, right, the reason that he's buying up land, okay, is because, right, in the world of finances... Oh, fell asleep already. Okay, in the world of finances, when big governments start, like, you know, printing out money like the American government has been doing, things change economically, things change financially, and there is something called inflation. Inflation is where let's say the balance of supply and demand kind of changes hands a bit and leads to the increasing prices of goods. So when inflation happens, you get paid the same, but the stuff around you costs more all of a sudden. It's kind of like a pay cut in a way. Anyway, the rich and the wealthy, they can afford to manage their wealth and have people that know what they're doing manage their wealth. And so for someone like Bill Gates, what he's probably doing is he's hedging his bets against inflation. So rather than having all of his money tied up in things that can be affected by inflation, you might choose to buy something like gold. The gold standard, right? Like gold's supposed to be this kind of thing that, you know, isn't affected by inflation. I don't know if that's really true or not, but land is another one, right? Land is something that you can own. It's always going to be valuable. The price of it tends to move with inflation, kind of like houses can do. And so land can also be productive. If it's farmland, you can take in some of the money, right? So the reason that he's buying all of this land isn't because he wants to take over his wealth, the world. It's probably because his wealth manager has sort of gone like, oh, Bill, you know, inflation's coming, mate. Buy land. Buy up land. Okay, put your money there. That's what he's doing. He's moving his wealth and his money around into something different. Now, should he be able to do that? Is that right? I don't know. Perhaps, you know, if we had more control over what people could do in society, we could agree that maybe land should be owned by all people for the benefit of all, and private ownership would be less desirable. But no, that's not the world we live in. We live in a world that's very capitalistic and has sort of been, I guess, inherently agreed upon that people can own land, right? And because land ownership is a thing, here's old Bill Gates buying up all the farmland, right? Does that make sense? Because it makes more sense than conspiracy stuff to me. Like, I don't think he's part of some master plan to take over all the farm world and control the food supply. That's conspiratorial thinking. X, what you waffling on about now, says TBNR Words. I'm trying to explain for anyone out there who might be touched by some of the mad conspiratorial thinking that's going on out there, that stuff like can very easily appeal when you're ignorant to certain things, right? That's why I'm always interested in learning. I've been learning about like financial stuff lately. And then when I hear about Bill Gates buying up all this land, I'm like, he's moving his money around. He's moving his investments because he probably thinks that having all this money tied up in stock is going to devalue against inflation. So now it's like time to move his assets and his wealth somewhere else, right? Isn't that far more reasonable than some crazy plan to take over the world or whatever? And it makes sense. Like, it actually has some sense to it. I don't think Bill's trying to take over the world. I think in his mind he's trying to save it in some ways. But we could disagree about that. How do you do your research on financial stuff, says Jevin Brown? Probably not the best way, but I watch YouTube videos, right? However, my argument there is always like, yeah, there can be some pretty unenlightened YouTubers out there, let's say. You have to fish around and try and suss out what seems like the more reasonable stuff. I'd like to think I've got a good nose for it. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like I found a few sources of information that make a lot of sense to me. Right? And so then, having learned some of this stuff, again, you hear this story about Bill Gates buying up land, and then you think about, hang on a minute, like I've learned about like inflation and where people put their money when inflation happens, and there's a lot of fear about that happening at the moment. Oh, maybe what he's doing is he's moving around his investments to hedge from inflation. That seems way more reasonable to me. Economics Explained is also good, says Ed the Alien. Yep, that's one of the ones that I've been listening to, actually. But like, you have to wade through some bad stuff sometimes. Like, I realised that in the financial area on YouTube, there is a lot of people that like are like invested and therefore tell you information that is kind of related to their investments. I'm not going to say they're doing it deliberately. One place I've noticed this that isn't quite the same is the Tesla community. There is a lot of YouTube channels that love Tesla and make information videos about it, and I've noticed that they kind of like frame any Tesla press release in a kind of like, you know, Tesla slam dunking on all the opposition. So Tesla will make some announcement about some new battery life thing, and then these channels will come along and make all these videos praising it and saying, you know, Tesla's better than anything else, right? And that's the kind of behavior you've got to watch out for, because then you're getting really biased information. Now, I reckon that some of these people might be Tesla stockholders as well, and therefore they're always going to look at like new bits of information like it sort of is great news for them. Again, not to try and suggest that people are being deliberately nefarious, but invested interests, right? Like, if you're passionate about Tesla and you make videos about it, chances are you might own some stock in the company. Like, you can see the conflict of interest there, right? Not saying it's intentional, just this is where you have to be careful of where you get information from online, is that there are all sorts of biases and whatnot. Comes alongside those who heavily preach all of Elon Musk's actions, says Burfers. Yep, there's a lot of fandom around him, and so a lot of bias. I must admit, when I read his book, I was really kind of like drawn in. Say his book, the one that Ashley Vance wrote for him. I was really drawn into this like idea of him being a very unique and interesting individual, which I still think he is, but like there is a bit of like a messiah complex, or like he can't do no wrong kind of thing, and you know, some of the stuff that he's done and said here and there have been pretty like, you know, hey, he's human, he makes mistakes, he does stupid and dumb stuff too, like the rest of us. And then he does things like you know, the whole Bitcoin and then Dogecoin, which seems like a bit erratic and not very logical for someone who's clearly very bright and talented. It makes me think that something else is going on there, right, with the whole Bitcoin stuff. What's your opinion on the Hyperloop? That's the ultra high-speed transport by Virgin Galactic, isn't it? He like made a comment on it once and then gets his name attached to it all the time. Whereas it's one of Richard Branston's things, I believe. As for the Boring Company, like the whole digging tunnels, that one for traffic, that one to me seemed like especially silly, because like traffic is, I get the impression traffic's like a notoriously tricky thing to actually fix and manage, and some of our most common instincts, like add more lanes, add more bandwidth, doesn't actually speak to some of the core ways you can fix the problems. And you know, for Elon to propose that just digging tunnels underneath LA, it seems like, well, that's not how you fix traffic problems. You don't add more roads, you don't just like add more bandwidth. It's more complicated and in depth than that. So it makes me wonder if he's either maybe ignorant to that, or I've got it completely wrong. Actually, that is how you fix traffic, which I don't think is so. I'm not a traffic manager, I don't know. I don't know which one of these things it is, but that's one of his projects where I'm like, I'm not really on board with you on this one. It just doesn't seem to be the solution to the problem. The subway was, and it's pretty great in NYC from what I've heard for fixing traffic. Yes, but that's because it's an alternate system to cars. I'm talking purely cars as traffic, right? Introducing an alternate form of transport that can go in different dimensions is going to be really great. Like if you introduce a robust bus system and people use it, then what you're doing is you're getting less cars on the road and getting more people traveling in the buses. Buses hold more people. You know, you don't need me to spell it out for you. It's pretty obvious how that makes a positive difference, right? Now, if you just introduce a underground road as opposed to an overground road, it's kind of the same thing. Unless you've got unless you could fix traffic with like a road from A to B here would make a huge difference. You know, expert traffic manager says. There's a mountain in the way though. Oh, we can't do it. But we've got the boring company. Oh, we can do it now. Then yeah, okay, it would make a difference. But like introducing a different traffic system would create an alternate means that takes, you know, cars off of the road. So like the reason that New York's subway system is so great for helping with traffic is that it gets people to not drive their cars, and therefore traffic improves on the roads. Okay. Honestly, cars are a menace to society, says Sila for streaming. I mean, I'm of the opinion that cars are like a really big problem, and that this idea of like individual freedom and convenience of being able to go where you want, when you want, like it's very like selfish, and not to say selfish like screw you car driver because I drive a car. I mean like it's a self-serving system for the individual. And whereas if we had more communal transport, there would be less flexibility. There would be more, alright, I've got to get the bus to get here, to get to the train station, to get there, right? You know, it would be a bit more of an inconvenience, but collectively, we would have way better traffic, way less pollution. You know, it's one of the things I find really fascinating about shows like Star Trek or whatever, is that they always try and like introduce you to alien races that show you human behaviors that could be different. So I always like the idea of like, what if all of our genetics were like slightly different? If we go back in evolution and tweak something and we have a more communal mindset, everyone tends to think more collectively than they do individualistically, and we might all gravitate to buses and trains and never use cars. What would that look like manifesting in the world? You might find that like instead of having roads everywhere, you just got loads of lush green fields, and way less infrastructure is needed to move people around because we all use shared infrastructure. That would be really fascinating in my opinion. Right, we got to get some deep slate from underground. We've got to take a trip to the Nether, which I'm not looking forward to. Oh, I also got to get some spruce loggage. Let's go do some spruce trees. That being said, where do I want to do the spruce trees? Hey X, what happened to the communal shulker farm project idea? Oh, Doc's now built the shulker farm. You know, we were supposed to kind of like get straight into it, and then no one really took the lead on it, and Doc wanted to do his own, so Doc's made his now, and it's pretty fantastic, by the way. You should go check it out. His last episode is like an hour long, and the farm that he's built is just like mind-boggling. It's super cool. I highly recommend you all go check that out. Let's do some spruce trees. I don't want to create like the spruce stuff everywhere. What's it? Podzol? So I guess I kind of need some dirt from one of these chests. I need to build a storage room soon. Actually, there's so much stuff that I need to do that I'm like about to jump over that hurdle and kind of like move into a new chapter with the series, by the way. To sound a little on the dramatic side. Yeah, let's just go over here and plop it down in this spot. That's how we'll do it. Doc says it's 4 times faster than expected results. Yes, that's because we had the the data pack on. So when we started the server, we didn't have the 2 shulker shell data pack like we've always done. We decided, oh, we're going to build this communal farm, so let's like not do that. Then we didn't build the communal farm straight away, and so it was like, well, until we get it done, let's get that on, because people are going to go to the Nether and the end and do their raids. And then, you know, we forgot that it was there. Doc built the farm and was like, well, this thing's pumping out crazy rates, and it's because we had that data pack still on. So now the data pack's gone. Drop rates are normal for shulker shells. Doc's farm will probably still be like ridiculously insane and wonderful. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Maybe next season we'll be like, okay, let's just build your design together this time. It's something I always really want to do. Is more communal stuff, right? Like build communal farms. The problem is just I get so caught up in this world of like, I'm making an episode and I need to do this thing and that thing, that there's like sort of not a lot of time to kind of just be casual and do a project like that. Right, for the last 20 minutes I've been waffling and I don't believe I've read out any of this. So Venom Strike 777, thank you for the Prime. Olaf Vloss, thank you for 2 months. Bucket, thank you for the Prime. Lacrus Waxing, thank you for subscribing. We got Liger Gaming here for 14 months. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate all you do as usual. TB Gamers 132, thank you for the 10 months. We've got Freddo1132 subscribing. Mentos 3478 for 2 months. Cheese Patrol X for 7. Pyromatrix 314, thank you for 5 months. I will take this moment to drink some water. Remind y'all, almost 3,000 peeps tuning in, to hit that follow button and check out the schedule here on Twitch, because if you do that, you will see that on Thursday the 5th of August we have a very special event with Twitch rivals themselves, homing up to make a game called Hermit Raiders. Have you been watching the Olympics? Says 43 badges. Yes, I have. I've been really enjoying it. The thing is, people don't want to commute. They want to drive their own cars because they want to spend less, because they can just pay for gas and that will be covered for days and weeks even. JR Zans, what I would say is what you're saying there appeals to the individualistic nature I was talking about a moment ago. Like saying they want to spend less and do their own thing. In terms of actually spending money, public transport could very easily be cheaper for everyone if it's done right, and it's rarely done right. Unfortunately, a lot of the public transport we have here in the UK gets privatised and prices go up to make profits rather than running something collectively for the good of everyone. If things were run collectively like that, you know, public transport would just be so much cheaper than private transport, i.e. cars. Think about things like insurance and all of that as well. Like, owning a car is expensive. There we go. We went all over the place there. What was I trying to tell you about? Twitch rivals. Yeah, check it out. Head over to my Twitter if you want a little bit more information. Liger Gaming says public transport here is cheaper than private transport. It's subsidised by the government. Yeah, so, you know, by everyone chipping in with tax money for something we're all going to benefit from, we can create a system that's kind of like, you know, cheap to use and yeah, for the good of everyone. Anyway, I think you get the point. Like, it'd be very easy to devolve into an argument of like, is it not? I think if you try and make a good faith argument, you can say that it would be when it's done right, because sometimes public transport isn't done right and it can be expensive, and that I don't think should be an argument against it. But you know, just an example of how different things can be run in different ways. Idealistically, you'd like it to be run by smart people making the right decisions so that it, you know, suits the environment that it's in, and then people uptake what's offered, and there you go. Oh, how much taller is this tree? We've got some cheers and bits from Fredda 1132. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. saying, "Hey X, I wonder if you have any advice on dealing with people who subscribe to anti-vax COVID conspiracies. I've been confronted with people I know doing so when talking to them, and I was sort of overwhelmed. I wanted to respect them, take them seriously, and not be aggressive or combative, but I also didn't just want to say nothing." Yeah, dude, here's what I would suggest. I haven't had to deal with like a lot of confrontation on this stuff, but like, don't peg too many of your hopes in convincing someone to change their mind. People tend to hold on to beliefs very strongly. Like, once you believe in something, you tend to like attach your identity and value to it, and people often don't like to go, "Oh, I'm wrong about this." They don't want to find out they're wrong about something. I personally try and remind myself that when you find out, "Oh, this thing that I believed in, I'm wrong," is also like, "But hey, now I know what's right." And so if you don't marry yourself to your ideas too strongly, you know, that can be a good thing. But you're probably dealing with people that don't think that way, and that's fine. Yeah, I just wouldn't get too invested in the idea of convincing them, and just try and have a polite conversation and take them at their word, and, you know, don't get too bothered by them if they don't want to, you know, hear what you're trying to say or listen to reason. Because if you do, it tends to draw you into getting aggressive, confrontational, you start shouting and arguing, and when you're in that territory, that's when minds never get changed, right? Mind, you know, when have you ever seen, you know, it's like those protest or rally videos that go viral, right? You got a group of people on this side, group of people on that side, they're shouting at each other, rah, 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 rah. Do you ever see one of them go, "Oh, really good point, mate, let me just hop over this fence and join you lot who are shouting at me"? No. Never happens. Like, it's literally the environment where people are most stubborn about their opinions and feelings. So you know, you got to be, people have got to be open to change, and hostility rarely induces that. So I'd say, you know, be relaxed, be calm, don't be invested in changing someone's opinion, be okay with theirs being different to yours, offer them up some thoughts, things to think about, but if they don't want to take it, that's fine. That's completely fine. Flat Earth Society can't change their minds, says Thick Bird. And that's fine. Like, the problem is, like, people always tend to go to the worst tools, like shouting and arguing, and they don't really get you anywhere, right? I'm changing over my mouse. My mice? I guess they are mice, they're plural, and changing them around. Here we go, got another one now. Different hand position. Okay, so we've got the spruce, and we also need some glass, and then some deep slate and soul soil. Well said. I have tried to change people's minds before. Might as well be talking to a wall, says Unholy Swords. Yeah. It's not worth it. Like, it's not worth... Because if they don't want to change their minds, like, getting into the territory of shouting and being agitated won't do it either. So, like, just let it go. And hopefully, you know, maybe they'll find their own way around in their own time, and then it's all good, you know? But it is a problem, right? It feels like, you know, there is people holding rather dangerous views, and we don't have a solution for it. And what should we do? Well, remember that propensity to negativity thing that I talked about? There's that. The internet helps you shine a spotlight on some of the weird and wackiest stuff out there, but it has also clearly helped those things grow as well, which is very concerning, I must admit. But I don't think the tools to solve these problems come from, like, shouting battles. So just be calm and collected. Cool, calm and collected. What's that song? Bull, balm and belected. Dang, I haven't heard that one in a while. That's how it goes, right? I'm bull, balm and belected. Dang, my chat is just talking about vaccines right now. Like, there's like 3 or 4 long messages about vaccinations and stuff. it's a really big, difficult, complicated topic. Immunology, like one of the body's most complex systems. There's so many things to it, and so many of us are not experts and not educated on it, and hold strong opinions about it. You know? Man, I love that tunnel, says Gay Sir Sage. Oh, I'm glad you do, because I had like mixed opinions on it, really. People are getting indirectly forced into vaccinated by green cards, etc., says Sweaty Dynamo. Yeah, that's something I am quite strongly opposed to, is any form of, like, enforced vaccination. That's not the way to go. I know we have a problem of needing to get people vaccinated, but I'm totally against forcing people, and very skeptical of like how vaccines could be used to reduce people's access to certain things in society as well. So like if places start saying you have to be vaccinated to work here, I really think that's wrong. That's just, you know, I believe in the science. I believe this is for the better of everyone that I get vaccinated. It protects me as well. Like, if someone disagrees with me, okay, but like, I don't think that's an excuse to then say that they should do this or they should do that. That just doesn't. That feels like wrong to me. Like, my gut instinct is like, that's wrong. And what I notice is that like a lot of, you know, people on the side are like pro-vaccination, all for it, tend to think, well, you know, I'm alright with it, so you should get vaccinated too. And it's, sure, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of perhaps wrong reasons that some people think they don't want to take the vaccine, but that's not the solution. Again, it's like the shouting match thing, you know. Can't expect to just shout in each other's faces and then someone go, oh, actually, you're right. It doesn't work like that. I mean, I ain't got an answer how you're going to convince all these people to take up the vaccine, but forcing them, completely wrong in my opinion. Completely the wrong way to go about it. Have you got your vaccine, says Orom? I've had both my doses now, so I'm fully vaxxed. And the second one was weird because I think the tightness in the arm went away quicker, and I probably would have been better with it, but I was already a little bit under the weather when I got it. I was kind of like worn out from my holiday and had a bit of a sniffle or whatever. Nothing crazy. So I was already feeling it a bit, like a bit under the weather, and then that made me worse for like, there was like 2 days where I was pretty rough. And now I'm just pretty much 100% again. Jonathan Pope says, to be fair, someone is in retail or food related services and they get it and they're not vaccinated, they have more chance to spread the virus if they get it. Am I wrong in thinking this? No, you're not. You're absolutely right. If you work in a vital service and you're not vaccinated, you are putting other people at risk. But I just don't see forcing people as the answer to the problem. It makes more of a problem in my mind. Hello! Wanna go in the lava? Going in the lava would be good, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Ah, see you later, mate. See you later. So, what is this tunnel? Is this just me branch mining? Why is there mobs here? Why is this not lit up? Oh! Oh! I see how it is. One from over there, one from over here. Mm-hmm. Dang, this guitar solo rips! Gosh, shred away. If you haven't had the vaccine, your symptoms are more severe, so you are more likely to do a test and realise that you have COVID, says Ed the Alien. Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? Because you could have it when you've been vaccinated and your symptoms are less noticeable, and therefore you might not even realise you've got it currently. But hey, look, you know, whatever side of a fence you're on about all this stuff, like, we need to be more civil to one another. This just this madness around the whole thing is a bit much, I think. And we're pretty much at a point where we're going to live with this now. It's going to be like influenza. It'll just always be there. And hopefully medical science will continue to learn how to treat and prevent, and maybe we'll find some things that help, like this, what's it called? Ivermectin, I think is the name of it. Like, highly controversial. I've researched it a little bit and understood what's going on. Basically, this one podcaster kind of sounded an alarm on it based on a bunch of data and information that was available that wasn't actually that great, but did suggest that we may have a existing solution that can help treat the coronavirus. And if that turns out to be true, great, because then, you know, we can treat people with something we've already got that we can produce en masse. Hopefully that'll work out, but who knows? Thought I saw something moving over here for a second. Isn't that what India used to control their outbreaks, says Ivor Vocal. No, I don't think India used it at all, and I don't think at any point have they controlled their outbreak, sadly. Maybe in the beginning, but the latest one, I can't remember the last time I checked up on the numbers. That's another sad thing about, like, a propensity towards negativity and an attention span is like, the world's shocked by, like, what was happening in India for a week, and then, like, you move on to something else. I really wish we as humans had, like, a bit more inbuilt concern for the collective as opposed to the individual. Because that's like yesterday's news. I don't even know what's happening over there. It could still be really bad, I imagine. It's still growing in India. God. Well, hopefully, I mean, is any of it under wraps at all? Like, it just seemed like it was wreaking havoc on the country when I last checked in with that. I'd like to think that maybe they got it a bit more, well, not under control, but at least dealing with it somehow. Ah! Don't take my ores. Right, I think we're done with this spot. There's too much lava here. How much did we get anyway? Probably need a little bit more for this project. Wasn't there, like, more up and around over here somewhere? Oh yeah, this spot. Here we go. Most researchers are expecting a third wave in India. Yikes. I mean, here in the UK, we're kind of like running a bit of an experiment of our own here, just sort of. Right, we've had a long, proper, well done lockdown, and then as we're getting to like the end of it, then the cases are going back up, and we're kind of just going, fudge it, let's see what happens. And oh, I really don't know. I really think it would have been smart. There are economic reasons to open up again, but I think it would have been smarter to try and see this one out a bit more. This new variant. This was the risk all along, though, like that variants would emerge and the virus would mutate and give us more problems. That's why we needed to, like, nip it in the bud early on and get everyone operating on the same wavelength. But, you know, we didn't. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Epic Toads, come on. We can't talk about such controversial and deep topics. God. Gonna create a firestorm if we talk about hot dog as a sandwich. Come on now. God, can't you tell we've just been talking about light-hearted, fluffy, nonsense topics for the last half hour, and now you want to throw the old hot dog as a sandwich in the mix? God, you're lucky you don't get scolded. I'll tell you that. God, going for the controversy there. Is a hamburger a sandwich? I think that's a better argument, isn't it? Hamburger is pretty much a sandwich. I don't really eat sandwiches though. The last sandwich I had was last Sunday actually. Peanut butter and jam. Oh, it was a treat. It was a treat. It's like a pudding more than a. For me, like a peanut butter and jam sandwich is a pudding. Think of all those carbs, all those sugary carbs. That's a pudding for me. Our cereal soup. That's a good one. Oh, by the way, we have more noises. Siegfried024 here with the Prime. Toko and Clank here for 15 months. Becca11 with cheers and bits. Saying Mice X. You have large hands with very long fingers. This is true. Don't know what mouse you use, but have you tried an oversized / large one? So you're not clawing your hand. Just a suggestion. It's something to help me. Yeah, well, I've been relaxing my grip, or trying to. And it's made me notice how much my hand and muscles tense up. And kind of... yeah, like, you know, you grip it stronger than you need to. That is a really good suggestion. I also saw a mouse design where the mouse is so big you rest your hand on it. Like, there's no putting your hand around the mouse. So I'm going to make a note. That I'm definitely going to get one if I can find it. So what is that, like a extra large? And the one that I'm currently using is like pretty small and slim under my hand. Like, it's hard to describe. Well, let me put it like this. Like, the length of my finger can cover over the mouse, and my palm can sit the other side. Side of it is where it can sit. It can sit the other side of it, you know. Totally didn't just scream like a goose, like a silly goose. Right, yeah, that's a fair amount. I just realised I set up like another area to do mining in. I kind of like gave up on this spot. I should have been over there, collecting some fresh diamonds maybe. Dang, what's the way out of here again? Wait, where is the way out of this spot? Oh, there it is. Becca says, I knew it, your mouse is too small. Well, that may, you know, it may or may not be the solution. I'm definitely going to try it. Like, I've got to keep trying stuff, right? But it's not guaranteed to solve the problem. But hey, I really appreciate the suggestion, and I will definitely give it a shot. But you know, if I get it and all's good, I will be over the moon. I'm not going to get my hopes up though. There's a very good chance it won't really do much for me. I don't know. At least maybe that's the thing, you know. I keep trying so many different things, and I actually kind of like need to hold on to string at the moment because I don't have a string farm. I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't really been building like a lot of big farms. It's really slowed down my gameplay. Like, I spend a lot of time walking back and forth and moving about, and I kind of just enjoy playing it like this a little bit at the moment. But yeah, I haven't built any big farms for resources yet at all. Copper farms, oh, I forgot to pick that up. Copper farms like the one thing. Do you eat spicy food, says Idwan. Yeah, I do. Not crazy spicy, but a little bit of spice is alright. Randy Razor mouses are good, and you can program all the buttons with custom macros. Yeah, most mouses do that these days though. The ones that I've got all of that kind of stuff. Custom DPI, custom refresh rate, got your macros, hotkeys. Please stop talking about COVID and vaccines. We have enough of that everywhere else, says Serranus. Do you mean mice and hands? Because I'm pretty sure we're talking about mice and hands right now. Hey, look, if you don't like what I'm talking about, that's fine. Just go do something else. You know, it's not a bother. But telling someone like, hey, stop doing this thing that you're doing, it's like, why is that my problem? Like, I can talk about this if I want to. It's that old exertion of control over a content creator, like, you should make this type of video, should I? I use Logitech, it's very good, says Iron D Quats. Both my mouse are Logitech. What did I have before Logitech? It was Kova. I'm now starting to wonder that when I was using that old mouse, I did not have these problems as much. I will now get the Kova mouse out and plug that in as well. It's kind of hilarious now. You've made me think, hang on a minute, I've had these problems more since I swapped to Logitech. I should definitely like get it out and just try it again, just to see what it feels like. Dacarosaurus Rex says, what was the big news? I mean, it was in the video. If you watch the video, you'll find out the big news. Where am I going? I need to go to the Evil X place and drop off the ores. Using Razor with 12 buttons. It's been amazing playing Minecraft. Razor is one of those ones that I avoid because they seem very brand heavy for price, and also they offer products that I know are terrible. Like they do those racing gamer chairs which have like terrible posture and are not ergonomic. So a brand like that, I just would avoid their products purely on that bias. Not saying I'm like right about all of this, just that's like a warning sign for me. It's like if you're like making all these like gaming perhapsals and it's like, and here's a racing chair that you can sit on while you play games, I'm like, yeah, this isn't ergonomically sound. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm really like running out of space in my backpack here. God, where am I even going to put this stuff? I guess I'll go clear out all the dirt and gravel. Oh yeah, these ores need to belong here as well, and those books. So I'll drop off, and that, I'll drop off all this other stuff elsewhere. Right, where's the ores chest? I don't know how the dripstone got in there, gosh. Golly gosh! Those can be a part of all this as well. Dripstone can go in there, and those are part of the materials I need for that project. Cool. What else do I need to do for this one? Oh yeah, soul soil. And deep slate. I'm not really sure if I want to get the soul soil or not, because I can't use my wings to get away if I get in trouble. The only problem that I have with gaming chairs is that mine is really difficult to clean, says Lego Tomb. Yeah, they can be a little bit tricky, can't they? I would encourage everyone to definitely have an issue with ergonomics though. Like when you're like in your 20s, your body can just endure so much, right? But then as you get older, like you develop aches and pains, you pick up injuries or whatever. And for me, like the amount of time I've spent at the computer doing this, I've got some serious RSI injuries that prevent me from doing the sports and stuff that I want to do. And yeah, it's really worth learning about. And like when I was in my 20s, I got myself a Herman Miller chair, and oh my god, did it make so much difference. Like I knew that every day my back was getting achy and that sitting in the chair was uncomfortable for a long amount of time, and that's just because I had a cheap office chair, right? I didn't have something that was ergonomically designed, and like switching to that chair just illuminated my mind. It was like, whoa, this is proper sitting right here. This is a chair designed for a human. Whereas, you know, the other chairs are just, yeah, you can sit in them for like an hour, but when you're at the computer for hours on end every day, you really need to invest in... that's another point, right? Here I am telling you to be ergonomically mindful and whatnot. The application would be, how much time are you spending? Because if you're spending a lot of time at a computer like I do, definitely look into getting a good ergonomic chair of some sort. Right, here we go. We got some. I want to smelt some of this stuff up. I can't even remember where I put half this stuff now. It's just like, there you go. I need to build a proper storage system, that's for sure. Cool, right, now let's go to the Nether and grind out some stuff, man. Let's grind some stuff. We're going to get some netherite, that's the one. Should I maybe bring a potion with me? Do I even have, like, potions of fire resistance? The real problem is if I fall into the Nether, I need, like, a way out, which will be the ender pearls. And, yeah, maybe I'll just take these. A couple of health potions, because I'll probably be alright. Golden apple would be good as well. Let's make sure we got a golden apple. In fact, I think that would be better than the health potions. There we go. That'll be my fire resistance. If I get in a problem, a bit of trouble, I'm probably going to get myself out of it quickly. So, ender pearl and golden apple on the hotbar. Since I don't have no fire resistance yet. Do you do stand sit like impulse? Yeah, I'm actually standing right now. I could probably do with a little bit of sit towards the end of the stream, just because I'm going to go for... Well, actually, not because, but maybe. I don't know, I'm going to go for a run, and I need to, like, stretch out. So, standing before a run is way better, but a little bit of posture change can help as well. If I was sitting, though, I'd really need, like, an hour of standing before I go run. Let's check the noises in the ear. Toko and Clank, thank you for subscribing for 15 months. Jambo3004 here with the Prime. Shadow Queen DK here for 26 months. That other guy, 128 here for 5. Xanapolis, thank you for 11 months. Greetings from your holiday in Serbia. Awesome, I hope you enjoy it, my dude. Kirby Switch is here with cheers and bits, saying, this is my first time in a HG stream. So yeah, what are you up to? Ah, welcome, my dude. We are doing grindy stuff. I wish I had somewhere to dig to. Is the only thing I can say right now. Whenever you do something like grindy, I always want it to lead to something else. I can't think of anything that I actually need to dig to or for at the moment. Oh, actually, yeah, I know what I could dig to. A Soul Sand Valley, right? Once the atmosphere changes, we'll know we're in a different biome. Oh, I'm totally disoriented. I thought I was going in a different direction. Actually, I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to grab the Seed of the World. I'm going to open up Mind Map for myself quickly and see if it does a nether thing. And then maybe I can just figure out what direction to roughly go in. Let's get that up. Thank you for those cheers and biddies again, Kirby. Soul TB, thank you for 2 months. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Right, let's make a seed. There is the Hermitcraft seed. Bringing up the map. Does it do the nether? Actually, I think you have to tell it to do the nether. Let's try that again. There it is. Load the nether. Continue. And we go to the nether. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay, where am I? Oh, that's a warped forest. What's the Soul Sand Valley look like here? I've not seen this map before. Not that you can see it. It's brown. Okay, it's brown. So we are at... let's use... Coordinate hub. 190.26. So ideally we'd like something positive on both, I think. Okay, I think I've kind of homed in on the map. Oh yeah, well, there's 0, 0 or spawn. Right, so 970, 230, 156, 5. That sounds closer. 600 blocks away. Yeah, the closest one, I think, is 137. Let's write this down. Oh, it went away. 137... 537. So we'll create a tunnel to there. So we want to go back this way a little bit and then go that direction. Right, got it. This probably means we just want to go to Iskal's tunnel and then go behind it, rather than start digging here. Or we could use this tunnel. Excellent. We need to go about 500 blocks in this way, and then we'll have a Soul Sand Valley. Pretty cool. Terry Jackie, thank you for 2 months of support, my dude. Appreciate it. Hey, X, is there a reason you don't use coordinates HUDs for long periods of time? Does it cause lag as well? No, it shouldn't cause any lag. The reason I don't use it for a long period of time is probably because I just actually don't want it on the screen all the time, right? Hey, hey, hey! We'll get quartz while we're here as well. Why not? Let's continue this staircase. Oh yeah, what height are we at as well? Like, I think we're going to mine about 120, so... Yeah, let's go there. 121. Oh, maybe a little bit lower, actually. Didn't realise bedrock would be that close. And if you see ancient debris, be sure to shout at me. That rhymes. Rallian says, I keep forgetting this is live. It is so surreal. The potential things I say can affect the media. Oh, the media's been affected, peeps. It'll never be the same again. Dang. You and your chat comments. God, affecting everything. Right, that is what's cool about it being live, right? Is that it's all just kind of actually happening in this moment and you can be a part of it. Always take those ores. They are for the shop, of course. And we're back here. Let's seal this off as well. Oh, there's actually more quartz over there. Do you know what? I'm going to run and grab that. Ooh, someone else is... yeah, they didn't grab the quartz. Why does no one grab quartz anymore? It is a mystery to me. I know why no one does, actually. It's because of the piglin bartering. I mean, I think it's... Now that it's been in the game for a while, and now that we know how to make the super easy cheese farms for it, like, it's not a great way to have renewable quartz. It really isn't. I wish they would nerf that a bit, actually. Be nice if, like, quartz could be, like, a cool farming project, like semi-automatic or something. Instead, it's just, you know, build a gold farm and then get all this other stuff. Oh, okay, I have lost my bearings a little bit. Right, the tunnel is here somewhere, isn't it? There we go. It's just another 250 blocks to go, no big deal. Murterdrush has subscribed with the Prime. I probably murdered your name. Apologies. What texture pack do I use, says Mistake? I use Vanilla Tweaks, which brightens up the Nether a little bit. Got the brighter Nether textures on. Doesn't make a crazy amount of difference, but at least some. And we got a donation here, noise in the ear, from Ironically Angry. Saying, hey X, here's your next box of tea on me. Thank you so much, my dude. I appreciate that. I'm running a little low on a couple of my teas. I'll actually have to make note of that when I go shopping. And you've made me think of going shopping, and reminded me of something I might do when I go shopping, which is ride a bike. Okay, a different sort of bike. So, transitioning on to our next topic. Thank you for the donation, my dude. Appreciate that. I'm thinking of getting an electronic bike. I was chatting to Doc, who's got one, and the reason I didn't want to get an electronic bike was because I kind of like using a bike normally for exercise, right? The reason I might get one is because I could perhaps go to the shops and use the bike instead of my car. Now, I don't consider myself a great driver, and I haven't had a crazy amount of experience driving, so I don't like the idea of like never driving, right? So I wouldn't do every trip there. I want to keep driving at least once a week, just a small journey, so you know I'm sharp and fresh, right? But anyway, if I go to the shops twice a week, one of those could be on an electric bike. Now the reason I'm really interested in it is because Doc said, like, Doc has had trouble with his knees as well, and And like he said, it's like you still exercise because when you use the electricity, it's like you're just spinning your legs, and it takes the impact out of your knees. And that's exactly what I want. And I thought, oh, well, if I could do more exercise and put less impact on my knees, that's kind of exactly what I want. I also love the idea of like using an electronic bike. It feels very green, you know, to like go to the shops. So I'm now really like considering in my mind to get an electric bike. What one I'll get, what sort, I don't know. I think I want to get one that's less like sporty looking or designed for like that sort of activity and more functional. So maybe it's got like those bags on the back. Ah, we just reached the biome because I got the achievement. That's how we know we're here. Yeah, so I could... Let's pop down here. I could get, you know, a bike with some bags on the back, and that could enable me to go to the shops. I was also thinking, like, not only would it have bags on the back, I could put my backpack on. When I used to cycle to the local Sainsbury's, that was quite a few years ago that I used to do that, and I'd do it in the summer. I would have a backpack, and all I could put was whatever would fill up the backpack, right? Well, now I could have the backpack and the side of the bike, so I'd be less limited. Electronic bike is great if you just exchange your car for it. If you use it instead of a normal bike, it's worse for the environment. With the battery being... Yeah, battery having an impact. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I'm going to keep my regular bikes and probably still use them, but... using the electric bike to get around and have less of an impact on my knees, that's what really, like, struck me. As like, hey, maybe I could, like, run less, do more cycling, less impact on my knees and help them recover. That's the way I'm thinking. Oh. That's like the last thing I wanted to see right now. Now what I could do is maybe like pillar down, get what I want and come back up again. That would be dangerous. Or sorry, pillar down, ender pearl down and pillar back up. Right, I think we're going to go in that direction. Let's also put like a bit of a barrier, or block that, I guess, for now. Oh, more soul sand. Huh. So yeah, if I keep going this direction just a little bit higher, I'll get to where I want to go. Awesome. Gotta be super careful now. I don't want to like blitz through this tunnel and fall down into that area. Ah, and again. Looks like I need to go higher. I guess this, if the soul sand's here at the roof level, it's telling me exactly like how much further over I need to go, because I just need to be above it by the looks of it. And that leads us to some quartz. We got a noise in the ear. A few of them. Becca is gifting a sub to Mason Smith. Thank you for gifting that sub, Becca. Appreciate it as always. We've got Zippo here for 4 months saying, I prefer to buy things rather than buy online. I could do that a little bit more, couldn't I, if I had the bike? I could bike into town and get things. Yeah, the only problem with it is like it's a convenience thing, right? Like they might not have what you want when you go into town, or it definitely takes more time. That's one of the reasons I think this online shopping stuff is just taking off so heavily. It's just the sheer convenience of it, just ridiculous. Alright, looks like we've got a little further to go here. And it kind of looks like, yep, this landmass we can use to get down safely. Which is what I was looking for. Hey, we're here. And we got ores. More and more ores. We got Ironically Angry subscribing. Thank you again for that donation, my dude. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. We got Shawnee YYX here for 26 months as well. Thank you so much. Xisuma, get wings and cool helmet with it. Well, I mean, 824. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I don't want to tap out now. Right, that stuff down there is what I came here for. And quartz, apparently. What is the scoreboard showing? Time on the server without flying. Okay. Skeletons do spawn here, don't they? And ghasts. I'm surprised we haven't heard a ghast. Has anyone heard a ghast? I don't think I've even heard a ghast. Because I was thinking seen, well, you can hear them too. Whew. Oh, that's the wrong type there. Oh, someone's been here before. Huh. Interesting. I thought that might have been like a beacon for a second, which wouldn't make much sense because I haven't got a beacon effect. And it doesn't look like that. Right, I don't know how much of this stuff we need. But I'm thinking like maybe not too much more. Hey, we got some gifted subs coming in. Shawnee YYX, 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate that. Appreciate it ever so much. Right, I'm going to head back to safety now. Oh! That's never good, is it? I haven't been actually collecting any of it. Right, I'll read those names in a second. Just concentrating on leaving here safely, really. And where did we come from here? Up there? I think this was the way. This is the way. I hear a ghast! Right as I'm about to leave. Do not foil my plans to escape this place peacefully. Ugh. Keep going. Right, we're safe, I think. Oh god, no, we're not! Oh god! Oh, it's dead. Jeez. Jeez, I thought the world was going to blow up for a second there. Not the Minecraft world, the actual world. Oh, makes so much sense. If you hear your name out loud, be sure to say thanks in chat. Bruzex, Cocobon, Waymian, Hood Senaf, Canman50, Fifth Alice, Gabusha, Eruna, Deter, Minder Celery, and Christoph76. Be sure to say thanks in chat, peeps. And again, thank you, Shawnee, for the sub bomb. I am now going to sit down. Changing my posture. Oh. What's that you're doing? Do you watch Formula 1? Says Boothill. I do not. Is it on? Because of the Olympics. I imagine they wouldn't do it while the Olympics is on. What is that noise? Oh my god, it's magic. Oh my god, it's magic. Desco brrr. We need an emote for that. Oh! Dang it, it went up again. I wasn't even holding it, it started going up. That, the up-down thing is concerning me a fair bit. It's on X Hungry GP later today. I will not be paying any attention to that. Yeah, Formula 1 doesn't interest me much at all. The Doctor, thank you for 4 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Yeah, I want to get some new emotes. I actually contacted an artist who might be able to help with that. We need Desco Brewer. It's definitely like a emote we need. That was a successful journey, wasn't it, peeps? Until I did that. I was just trying to eat. Jump to increase speed, says Shaz. Yes, let's jump to increase speed. We are definitely going faster now, peeps. Ah! Oh, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Look at me go. Oh. Ow. I'm getting a bit of a headache. Ah! Okay, we definitely went faster then. See, look, we got back so much quicker now. Look, here's the exit. Or entrance. It's both. It's both an exit and an entrance. Peeps can't believe how fast it is. Yes. Pro Minecrafting. Oh, I've been playing this game a while, haven't I? By the way, 3,350 peeps tuning in. Be sure to hit follow button here on Twitch, everyone. I've got some big news for you. We have teamed up with Twitch rivals to create a game known as Hermit Raiders. It's where we as Hermits compete in 6 different teams on parallel servers to beat raids as fast as we can. There's like 5 rounds of it. You get points for where you finish. There's going to be buffs and debuffs. And it'll end up being a very interesting competition. Joe Hills and Pixel Riffs are going to be hosting it, along with a couple of other hosts who are, you know, from a different community. I'm not really aware of who they are. I think you can find the information on that on Joe's Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, you'll find out information there. I'm going to be tweeting out all the teams over the next few days. It's a big deal. Plug time. There's another emote, says Becca. Yeah, that could, like a plug emote, could be pretty cool. I do like that one. So yeah, it's on the 5th of August, 6 PM BST, here on my channel. Also on the Twitch Rivals channel, you can find it as well. So make sure you're you got it penciled into your calendar. If you check the schedule here, you'll find it converted to your time zone. Doc M Team Leader, yes, I'm on Doc's team with Logical Geek Boy. Do I have any like spare storage-age for this stuff? I mean, I get into a point where I know I'm going to build my storage room real soon, so I'm just happy to chuck stuff in the cupboard, basically. Probably need a little bit more of that. And that is another successful little adventure right there. But my friends, sadly, it's our last adventure for today, because that's going to be the end of the stream. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. As always, I appreciate your support. Thank you to all of my patrons. Thank you for all the gifted subs. And as we do at the end of these streams, I'm looking for someone to raid, to riggedy raid. No one I know is streaming, so we are going... Actually, did it just recommend me a channel? 2,000 Days of Hardcore. This person has 100 viewers, so we'll go raid them. Since Twitch Oh, the algorithm. You can tell them the algorithm is in their favour. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, peeps. Hit that raid button. Hit the follow button. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.